On this week's episode, we talk about flight risk
and other pop culture news from the week.
This week we saw a bunch of stuff, including brand new movies. And the newest one that came out just yesterday, officially comes out today, it's Flight Risk.
Yeah, this is directed by Mel Gibson, starring Mark Wahlberg and...
Dockery.
Yeah.
What's come on.
First name?
You're the Downton
I should know this. Lady Edith, the oldest of the Downton Abbey.
Emily Dockery.
Thank you.
I don't know if it's Emily. I'm
oh,
just
dang it.
throwing.
Anyway.
Yeah. Check
she's
IMDb
wonderful.
real
I'll
quick.
check that real quick.
Yeah.
And Topher Grace.
She's not one of Downton Abbey-ites like us, big fans of Lady Edith, daughter of Sir Buckingham.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but
not even a sir.
No, everybody.
Lord Granville, get it right.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought it was Michelle Dockery.
Michelle. I knew it was something like Emily. Michelle. Anyways, so and Eric Foreman.
Yeah, Topher Grace.
Topher Grace, yes.
Yeah.
Who
is Eric Foreman?
Yeah.
All the time.
Even when he was Venom, as I seriously.
That's right. It was just like dark. It was just emo Eric Foreman.
Someone had a terrible idea. It's like, hey, let's cast this most skinniest guy, whiny, to be Venom. Yeah. Anyways, let's not go there. But anyone else? Oh, Leah Remini is there. Mm-hmm. You might not see her. You might hear her. Mm-hmm. Hassan.
Oh my gosh, Hassan.
We're gonna talk a little bit about it. But anyways, so it's a thriller on a plane. Mm-hmm. So the premise is, and the trailer gives away quite a lot, I would say.
Yeah, which I mean, I feel like it's fine because everything in the trailer kind of unfolds like pretty quickly at the beginning of the film. Like pretty quickly you realize, okay, this is where we're going. So I feel like the trailer didn't really wreck a whole lot for me. Yeah. And I still spent most of the movie like proverbially on the edge of my seat. We were in the luxury seat, so it was like a recliner and it was heated. So it wasn't actually on the edge of my seat.
I don't know what they
heated. But emotionally, huh?
Do they heat it?
There's a little heater button you can turn on.
I mean, not that I need.
It's nice.
I wasn't cold, but next time I might try.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, so it's a thriller takes place on a plane, and the premise is, again, the trailer gives all that, so it's not a spoiler. Michelle Dockery's character. It's a U.S. Marshal. She goes to arrest someone that is involved with the mob, and he's gonna be witness protection. He's gonna he made a deal, and he's gonna give away information to incriminate the big boss. You know, witness with prop. Is that Witsec? What do they call sec?
Security? I don't know.
Anyways,
I want to say Witsec.
She's going to arrest this guy far away. I guess
like
the trailer
out, maybe not technically the bush, but like tiny town, only accessible by airplane.
Yeah.
In the sticks of Alaska.
Yeah, the trailer doesn't say where, but it's in Alaska. So she has to fly him to civilization and back to the law enforcement procedures and the courts and where he can incriminate the boss, which is New York, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Anyways, so he's an accountant and he has information on this big boss, and she goes to arrest him, and they fly out of there the only way they can, which is a small plane, bimotor. It's like
it's single engine. It's just like a little Cessna, yeah.
It's a little airplane, and the pilot is Mark Wahlberg. Or is he?
But they realize pretty quickly that the actual pilot has been swapped out for one of Moretti's guys, who's been sent to take out the accountant before he can testify.
Yeah. So. Then that is. That's the big synopsis of the movie, because they've been flown by a bad guy. They don't know yet. They find out, and they go through all the struggle. And there's
So then you have this dilemma, right? Like,
The
they can take him out. It's not necessarily too bad to take him out. But then after you take him out, you still have to fly this plane.
Yeah.
Flying the plane isn't that big a deal, but landing the plane, that's a heck of a deal. Figuring out
Oh,
where
it
they
is
are
a
in the
big deal if
Alaskan
you don't know what
wilderness,
you're
like
doing. In the middle of Alaska, where everything looks the same, you don't know where you are.
yeah,
You don't know how to go up. I mean, go up and go down is pretty simple, but you know, like cuts of wind. Is that called cuts?
yeah.
Gusts of wind and all that. Anyways, so yeah, but there's this dilemma. She has to fly the plane with a really bad guy, and Mark Wahlberg is really, his character is like really evil.
Yeah, like truly like disturbing evil, not just like, oh wow, what a great bad guy, but like, oh, there's this moment, and this is also in the trailer, but you know, he's always wearing a baseball cap, and then the hat comes off, and you see he's bald, and something about that shot, like even after all the horrible things he's threatened them with, you realize he's a bad guy, but then you see his baldness, you're like, ugh!
Yeah.
Like they did a great job making him like horrifying and disturbing.
Yeah, no, he's evil, like next level of evil. He tried to rape.
Like he's evil and he likes it.
Both characters, the girl and the guy. Anyways, and well, there's a Die Hard elements. She uses the radio and I guess airplane elements. She uses the radio to get help. To get what she needs. We're not gonna get much details there. There's a pilot, a tower operator named Hassan that helps her, and he's a really funny guy.
Yeah, and that was something that surprised me about this.
I say.
Yes, fantabulous.
He's Indian.
So funny, and this was something I did not expect from this movie. These like little comedic moments woven throughout. Probably should have expected it because like Topher Grace is involved and like he's just laughable. So there's like little like moments of comedy woven throughout that kind of break up the tension, and the tension it's intense because like they're stuck in this tiny plane with this super evil guy flying over the mountains. Honestly, there are 3 issues that I have with this movie, and they all have to do with physics, and it's the kind of thing you just have to sort of let go of to enjoy. One, so when you're on autopilot, right, they use autopilot a lot. When you're on autopilot, it just keeps you on your heading, which means it keeps you in a straight line. But every time they pull out and do like a wide shot of the plane, like flying through the clouds and the mountains, the plane banks. And I get that is more cinematic,
because of the
but
angle
it is
of the Earth.
No. It is infuriating. It is infuriating because autopilot doesn't send you twisting and turning all over the place. Nope. You get on your heading.
They don't. The Earth does. In Alaska, you know, they have.
But the Earth doesn't turn like. That's not.
Because in Alaska is like really close to the big wall of ice, right? Because you know, Earth is flat.
Like I said, drove me nuts. And the other thing is, when you're in a little plane like this. These cabins, like, it's not pressurized or anything. It is very, very loud between the wind and the sound of the engine. It's so loud. You cannot speak at a conversational tone. And they acknowledge this sometimes, and sometimes they push this away, depending on whatever the plot needed. And the other thing, I don't want to give it away, but, like, it's just, you gotta let go of that stuff. Yeah. But if you, like, seriously, those are my only issues with the film. I thought the characters were very well written. The tension was good. It was all very compelling and exciting. Like, I would enjoy watching it again, even knowing everything that happens.
Yeah,
like seriously, you have to get so picky.
It's a very simple premise. It's like 3 people on a plane. There's some external communications from time to time. But from time to time, they show the exterior Alaska mountains and all the ice and all that.
It is so beautiful. Alaska is the most beautiful place.
But
it also wants to kill you all the time. So that's just a nice, like...
But it's still very entertaining because we have those people there and everything that is happening. And the story out of the plane, everything that's happening out of the plane, and it comes to affect what's inside the plane, makes very, very compelling, very interesting. Not needing to show... Which is always a good thing, you know. Like when they show too much, they might spoil in the sense that it's like, if not treating the audience like idiots, it's like, oh, they're showing this. It's like, yeah, this is for you. in this case, they don't show everything. They leave everything that is not on the plane for the audience's imagination, for the audience's brain, and for to keep it realistic in a way that, if you're in a plane and there's all this mess going on, and someone calls and says, this is happening, you're not gonna see. You might visualize mentally, but you're not gonna see with your eyes. So in this case, he stays in the plane the whole time. You have the page open?
I can, yeah.
Okay, it's I just want to make sure. Yeah, 1 hour and 30 minutes, 90 minutes, beautifully. It's really worth praise when someone tells a fun, entertaining, scary, mind thought promoting. Is that a word? Anyways,
Sure. Thought provoking.
Provoking.
That's the word.
In 90 minutes, and he does beginning, middle, and end. In 90 minutes, perfect. It's really well done. There's no too much, and there's nothing missing. Everything that should be there is there, and yeah, great fun.
Yeah, super fun. There's a little trick they did with the cinematography that I thought was cool. So eventually you get like Michelle Dockery and Topher Grace. They're sitting in the front of the plane, and we're focused on them. But because this is so tiny, you can always see Mark Wahlberg in the back. Even was not in focus, and it did so much to build up the tension because you can see him moving around. Oh my gosh! Anyway, yeah. What he said, it's great. I definitely recommend. This is well worth going to see. It is rated R. It's an hour and a half. Short, sweet, to the point.
Yeah,
definitely worth going to see in the theater.
Yeah, and it was Mel Gibson with Mark Wahlberg, Michelle Dockery, and Topher Grace. Is available in theaters everywhere. It just it's premiere officially today. Yeah, you should go see it. This one is good.
Okay, we also saw Den of Thieves 2.
Yeah, we did see Den of Thieves 1. We never seen it before, and
I'd never even heard of it.
And I was really impressed. First one was really good. I really liked it. It has a twist at the end. So the second one came out. Gerard Butler is back. Also, what's his name? Jackson? Curtis? No, Curtis Jackson is someone else. What's the?
I got you.
Ice what?
O'Shea Butler.
O'Shea
Jackson.
Butler.
Where'd I get Butler?
Butler's Gerard.
Gerard Butler. Yeah, my bad.
O'Shea Jackson is back as well. And I don't know. It feels like Butler didn't change much, but it feels like Jackson was I don't know.
He got bigger.
Unemployed. He was like he was bigger. Anyway, so he got so rich. He was only anyways.
Yeah.
So this one, the premise is this one. It follows up at the end of the first one. Gerard Butler is hunting the guy that led the heist on the L.A. Federal Reserve.
But the heist was done so cleverly that the Federal Reserve doesn't even realize that they were hit.
So nobody's looking for him.
Yeah. So Gerard Butler knows. He's going crazy because he knows this thing happened, but nobody else believes it anyway.
Yeah. So that takes him, if you remember the end of the first movie, not giving too much details, but the certain character is in London looking for diamonds. So in this one, he is looking for diamonds, but this time in Belgium?
Yeah,
in Belgium. Antwerp. So at the World Diamond Reserve, something that I'm not 100% sure this is real or made up.
Yeah, that's a good question. You keep talking. I'm going to check that out.
It's a whole quarter, is a whole block. It's like the Vatican is surrounded by security.
Yeah.
And apparently they contain the world's diamond reserve. Yeah. And then they receive diamonds, they analyze,
it's
they
real.
measure. It's real.
That's right. It's the Antwerp World Diamond Center. It's a public-private corporate. How can you be both? Anyway. Yeah, so it's like a private business, and they facilitate the import and export of diamonds in and out of Antwerp.
Okay. Is AW...
It's a home to all of the major diamond mining companies.
Okay.
They just coordinated all
Is
there.
AWDC. In the movie, they
A
have
wretched
logos.
hive of scum and villainy, I'm sure.
They have logos, and they is WDC. I don't know why they took the official name. Maybe they didn't want to get in legal trouble.
Yeah.
But anyways, so he's trying to get diamonds there. And yeah, we're not gonna give any spoilers about it. But I thought it wasn't bad. I thought it was good. It was entertaining. Gerard Butler is always good. This other guy was good too. O'Shea Jackson. Yeah. Everybody else, new faces. I don't remember seeing anybody else before, but they all do a job. It's entertaining. But I thought it was very predictable, and if the first one has a little bit of derivation,
sure,
it was a little bit derivative of some fast sagas, and
which I wasn't furious about.
Yes, by all means. Also, who was derivative, like Fast and Furious? Who was derivative of Point Break, right? This one was in ways that, for me, some of the things didn't quite make sense. You know, how I can't spoil. It's fun. It has those derivations, and I don't know. I think people. The first one is definitely better.
Yeah, I feel like this was definitely a sequel. It held on to some of the stuff that made the first one compelling. You know, this extremely elaborate, clever heist where they're like robbing something that's supposedly impregnable, and you know this gang of thieves this den of thieves that you're kind of rooting for, even though they're the bad guys. So it can continue all that, but yeah, it is definitely a sequel. And you often see this with sequels. It's really hard to maintain the quality of the first. Anyway, so it's definitely a step down.
If anything,
he found it predictable. I did not.
Yeah.
I thought the journey they had us going on made a lot of sense, and so when there was a twist, I wasn't ready for that. So I'm curious what.
Oh, I was so ready.
What people think?
I almost came down to you when they were in that room. I was like 3, 2, 1, and then that happens. It's it was not a surprise. And then it's like the movie sort of has two endings. The second ending for me is it doesn't make sense, but I don't know. It feels like someone wants to make a sequel.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, but overall it's fun. If anything, let's hope this one is being successful and making a lot of money. Let's hope they make more and they make something different, something better. Even though it's following some fast steps. But
despite not being as good as the first, it's still a really fun heist movie.
Yeah. No. The other thing about the first one, I feel like all the characters were better written and if not better portrayed in ways that you remember a lot of the characters, and there was a lot of them. And in this one, they were not like that memorable. Not you know, on both sides.
True.
The good guy. It feels like, let's say there's Gerard Butler, there's O'Shea Jackson, there's the girl, and there's that cop, right?
Yeah.
There's 4. On the first one, you probably remember the cops alone are more than 4. Has the black guy.
Yeah, it's a big cast.
And they all done well in a way that you could put them all on the poster, and they did. This one, they probably put everybody on the poster, but you're only gonna remember 3 or 4.
I just remembered something. It starts in Antwerp, but this one they moved the World Diamond Center to Nice in the south of France. That's why it's not Antwerp.
That's why there's not the EWDC. So is there one in Nice?
I don't think so.
Or they just changed because let's shoot in Nice. We have a lot of tax breaks. And
I mean, why
it's
not
nice.
shoot in Nice? Like
I know.
the Mediterranean, the French Riviera,
and also they don't wanna do too much. What do you say? Advertisement for the AWDC. So let's move to Nice. So if some criminal has an idea to come and do it, they go to Nice and they're not gonna find anything.
That's right. It'll stump them.
They're gonna.
Brilliant.
Oh man, we can just go to the beach now. But anyways, So, but it was fun. It was entertaining. I liked it. I hope they make more. In the
Yeah, I
next
wouldn't
one,
mind.
they improve. Maybe get some back from the first one, because the first one was really good.
Yeah, it was.
Okay,
It was.
so
Okay.
then of Thieves, it's available in theaters everywhere. You should go see it. It should be. It's close to run. It's a course. It's out for several
Yeah.
weeks, and there's a lot new things coming out, including Flight Risk. And next week there's Wolfman, and next week there's a couple more. But anyways,
Yeah. Okay, we also saw this was on Netflix. It's a movie called Back in Action. It actually had Netflix's biggest film debut since 2022.
yeah. This is also
was
the
not impressed.
coming back of Jennifer. Not Jennifer.
Nope, Cameron Diaz.
Cameron Diaz, who was sort of retired, and Jamie Foxx is on it too. They are a couple,
Yep.
and it's very similar story to A Family Plan with Mark Wahlberg, and some
Yeah.
other movies of the same genre or subgenre. Is super spies that retire to make a family.
Yeah, just like suburban family life.
Yeah.
And then at the time that they're like having a total crisis of parenting and feel like their family's falling apart, they're forced back into the elite super spy world.
Yeah. She kicks butt, he kicks butts.
Their children kick butts.
She has a mom that before her was a super spy, so she's from a super spy dynasty. It's portrayed by Glenn Close. Is Glenn Close, right?
Yeah.
Glenn Close. And of course she might have a father, because you can have a baby without a mother and a father.
It's true.
We're not gonna talk about that. They don't talk about that. You might get some glimpse of that in the future, if you catch my drift. But it was okay.
Yeah,
Let me put it this way. There's another Netflix we're going to talk about in a second. This one, compared to the other one, and critics everywhere will disagree, but compared to the other one, this one is amazing. This one is spectacular. So it's fun. It's I guess it's a very Netflix movie on the sense that I don't know. I still think people would go see this in the theaters.
they might.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be really harsh here for a second. Cameron Diaz is not a good enough actress to carry a movie that we've already seen before. It was fun. There were like some fun callbacks to like Charlie's Angels and
what
stuff.
What if she was what if was his movie, and she's just?
It still would have been boring. It just would have
Yeah.
been less boring. Glenn Close definitely brought like that. I got a little bit more interested there, but like really, we've seen this movie before, and I feel like they didn't really bring anything like special or fun to it that made me really compelled. Also, they were terrible parents. It's also entirely possible that I'm just like too old to get a kick out of this, because as a parent, I'm watching this like, oh my gosh, like. So I don't think this movie was worth your time. I felt like Family Plan was a little bit better.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
There were some good there were some good actors involved, but the writing just really did them dirty, and it's not worth your time.
Well, yeah, it's okay. It's
Especially if you already watched Family Plan or any of the other like spy family. Oh no, now the children are involved movies. Like we've seen this before, and this one wasn't.
They've been trying. They've been trying. He's trying, and I guess because I don't know. I would assume, like I'm a fan, and not that I'm black, but I assume that every black kid, at some point, were a big Eddie Murphy fan, and I know some of these people are because I heard them mentioning before. And I don't know, maybe Jamie Foxx is going for that. I don't think he does a very good job on when he does comedies. He is a award-winning actor.
He is a very good actor.
He did Ray, right? He was really good, and he did other good things. But when he goes to comedy, I don't know. It feels like I never was a big Cameron Diaz fan. I liked the Charlie's Angels. I liked her in The Mask and some other small things. But I don't know. It's like she's coming back, It's like
That's
I was
okay.
not really like, oh yes,
We were
this is
waiting
good.
for
Like,
that.
some people, I guess, some people were, but
I'm sure she's a lovely
but
person,
the
but like,
movie is doing
okay.
terrifically, right? It's doing like huge.
I mean, it was started out that way. I don't know how it's doing now.
But it was the biggest.
But it was their biggest film debut since
Yeah.
2022.
So I guess
So
they
maybe
hit
people
it.
were waiting for it to come
And-
back.
and-
I don't know.
And they might make more, but yeah, we'll see. It's fun. It's forgettable. It's not like, oh man, remember that? It's like, oh, I don't. Anyways,
Yeah.
but compared to this next movie, this is like a masterpiece. This is like excellent. It's beautiful. It's awesome. The next movie is a movie from a wave of Golden Globe nominated and Oscar nominated movies that we saw this past week. We saw them almost all together. The first one is a Netflix movie, and one of the things about all these movies have in common is, I can say with absolutely certain that nobody is a lot of people on the other way end, but most people, like a lot of people, would not go see this in the theater. And I can almost say nobody, meaning very, 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 very few people. People that are like obligated to see because of work, critics, family, I don't know, very, very, very,
Film
very
enthusiasts.
film enthusiasts, very curious people. But if you see, if you read the synopsis, it's like, is this a comedy? Because on paper, it's like, you can even make a trailer. Drug lord from, let's say, Colombia, Mexico. A drug lord from Mexico decides to hide his life and transform himself into a woman and go into crazy adventures. Anyways.
I see, yes, if this movie had been made like 30 years ago, it would have been a comedy.
Anyways, so, but yeah, the all three movies are from a wave of movies that they have some qualities, and some of the qualities have been nominated, but everything else is being nominated, but it shouldn't. And then let's get to that. So Emilia Perez, as I gave a quick synopsis, is about drug lord, Mexican drug lord named Manitas, that at some point decides to become a woman.
He apparently, so within the storyline, he's always wanted to be a woman, and he actually became this like super violent, evil drug lord to like compensate for that, to protect himself. And he finally reached a point in his life where he could make his dreams come true and he could live as a woman. So he hires a lawyer, Zoe Saldana, to make this happen, to help him get the surgeries. He'd already started hormone therapy, help him get the surgeries, and then disappear and start a brand new life as Emilia Perez.
And I was joking that if this movie was a comedy, but it was nominated as a comedy or musical.
Because it is a musical.
Because it is a musical.
It's an adaptation of an opera.
But there's moments in the movie that it's like she goes to somewhere in Europe, right?
No, Bangkok.
In Bangkok
is where that horrific musical
there's
number
a big
happens.
clinic, and they talk about penis and vaginas. You wanna change? And
it's not good.
They sing about it. So it's like, anyways, talking about the movie drags. The movie is long. The movie it's boring. A lot of times there's no like climax or anticlimax. The movie is flat. But there's a lot of Spanish in the movie, and curiously, the movie was directed and written by a French director. He woke up and decided to, hey, I need to do a movie in Spanish.
And the music and
Mexico.
The songs were written by a French composer. And it's come under fire because I don't speak Spanish, but the Spanish is bad. Like Google Translate bad.
Oh wow.
And apparently I didn't know this, but Emilia Perez is played by a trans woman.
Yeah.
Yay, but she's Spanish. And her accent is apparently it's very distinctly Spanish and not Mexican.
It's very different.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't notice, my ear is not that good. But for Mexicans seeing this, the Mexicans are not thrilled.
Oh yeah,
Basically,
Mexico's
nobody's
hated.
thrilled about this
Yeah.
except for guilty white cis hetero people.
The Academy, yeah, it's awarding this movie that Mexicans hated, that some of the gay community hated.
Yeah,
and it's
because like the messaging about trans people, the messaging about like Mexico, like the message about like it is all over the place.
they shot in France. They didn't shoot in Mexico. Yeah.
It's
Overall, but the Academy is digging, is loving it, is eating
it got 13 nominations.
Yeah, and qualities. Let's say not to talk everything bad about it. Let's talk about qualities. It's very short. No, it's not. It's long.
I will say Zoe Saldana's performance was very good. She is good at what she does.
Does she sing well?
I thought so.
Okay.
I thought so. And let's talk about the singing. It's all of they can't decide on a tone. Like, what kind of musical is this? Is this like a gritty realism type musical? Is it like a super camp musical? Because we go to Thailand and all of a sudden it's like super campy. And then all of a sudden it's not again.
They
they used AI to extend Emilia Perez's vocal range. Yeah. So that's getting some criticism too. Like
it's a travesty. It's a mess because that person was nominated for a Best Actress, was technically a man and cannot sing, anyways. But one of the thing is they call themselves, I guess, the book or the work that came before the movie. They call themselves an opera. Yeah. So I don't know if that would fit as an opera. Either way,
I mean a very modern one.
To be succinct, is that a word in English?
Succinct, yeah.
Succinct. Hate it. Don't watch it. Save your lives. No, go watch Back in Action. There you go. Anyways, so it was nominated for a lot. Let's hope some the Academy has some better sense, and give awards to people that deserve, not to people that are trying to put a statement to vote for someone. Well, anyways, a couple of the movies we saw there in this Golden Globe award season wave was
a Different Man.
A Different Man.
This is starring Sebastian Stan.
Yeah, it's a story of a man that has, I can't remember the name of the disease or the condition, but his face is all swallow and full of how do I say that?
In a doctor's appointment, it's described as tumors, but basically his face is like, it's like swollen and overgrown and grotesque and a very old sense of the word.
It's not the hydrocephalitis thing, right? This is different.
Yeah, I think this is different.
Yeah. Anyways, so
he's like these growths. It's hard for him to speak. One of his eyes is almost covered. So just like an extreme facial deformity that you can't look away from.
Yeah.
You can't cover it up. It's just that's the way he appears.
And as in the movie says, it's like looks like a beast, right? And he goes through medical processes, and he becomes the faces heals and becomes Sebastian Stan, but he changes as his face changes, and he goes through all that. And to talk about the
does he change though?
Well, he changed his name.
Yes. He changed his name, but like him as an actual person. And this
he was like super humble, and then he becomes super proud and jealous, and I do think he changed.
I don't know. I guess this is like the thought-provoking thing of the movie, because I don't know. You know how like in superhero movies, right? They get their powers, right? Like the superhero gets powers and he saves the world, and the villain gets powers and becomes super villainous. Like, do they change, or is it just like allowing different parts of their personalities to come out? And I kind of feel like that's what happened here. Like, he wasn't actually a nice, humble guy. He was just,
Sure. Okay. I'm not going to touch much about that because we have a lot of things to do.
Sorry.
But, no, you're good. But yeah, there's that. And Renat something, the Norway girl from Prime, what's it called?
Presumed Innocent.
Presumed Innocent is there too. A guy that actually has the condition is there too. I can't remember his name. But this one is getting praised for Sebastian Stan acting. And what can I say? It's not bad. He does act, but again, there's the whole trope that every time some actor and actress in Hollywood like changes drastically for a role,
Yeah.
eventually they get nominated. And sometimes
Yeah.
they win. And is that really acting, or is it really everything else? The makeup, the whole process. Anyways,
I will say this one depends a lot on his acting because he doesn't get much dialogue. He says very little, and we're getting it all through just like face and mannerisms. Like he had a lot on his shoulder. Like he had to do a lot with very little.
Yeah. Again, well, anyways.
Yeah.
A different man.
A different man.
Is available on Max. Last one is which is available on Hulu is called A Real Pain, written and directed by Jesse Eisenberg with Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin.
This one I actually really liked, and I feel like Jesse Eisenberg is. He kind of always plays the same character, with the possible exception of Lex Luthor, where he's just a super evil version of the same character. But his writing, I thought this was such a well-written film, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I liked it too. It's very interesting. Kieran Culkin is getting praise and getting awards for it.
Yeah.
Again, is he really acting, or is he that guy? I don't know. We have to see.
The only other thing I've seen him in was Home Alone, where he
Alone.
drinks a can of Pepsi and smirks at Kevin.
Yeah. But this one is definitely a fun one. It's a story about two cousins that reunite after many years to go to Poland.
Yeah, they go to Poland. Their grandmother died and left them money to go to Poland and do this trip to explore their heritage. Their grandmother's a Holocaust survivor, and so this is a kind of a Holocaust tour. They do this trip where like they visit like the Warsaw ghettos and one of the camps and things like that.
Yeah, and personalities crash, and there's like personal pasts and that collide. It's interesting. It's not bad. Of all three, I would definitely recommend this one.
Yeah. Regardless of nominations, this one is worth seeing. It's very thought provoking. You're gonna feel a lot of things.
But if anything, all three. It's the type of movie that shows how the Academy is ignoring what everybody is seeing. It's like this is kind of none of these movies would make big at the theaters. Nobody would go see it.
But is that the only metric of a good movie?
What?
Box office earnings?
No, but again, every time they pick movies that nobody see it, so it's like elitists. They only
for sure.
They only pick this movie because but John Cole Potier loved this movie. I was like, okay, John Cole Potier loved this movie, and the critics, the not ignorance, but it's like the disparity of what the critics say about a movie and what the audience say, and sometimes the audiences love it and the critics hate it, and vice versa. It seems like the critics' opinions is not being reliable, because imagine you see everybody is loving this movie, you're gonna go and see the movie and you get like disappointed, like Emilio Perez. It's like it's are they making money on that? Why are they recommending this to people? Anyways, to the point that the Golden Globes did the whole box office success award or something like that.
That's right, yeah.
Because it's like, hey, let's appease the peasants. Let's give them something. Let's throw some crumbs at them, and they give to Wicked. That was very popular, and it wasn't a bad movie. As an adaptation can be. Anyways, the Oscar nominations came out the other day, and they were very similar to the Golden Globes. And,
no surprises.
But again, the 10 nominated movies, which the Academy did to privilege, to give some honor to movies that everybody liked, to movies that were popular. But this year, the 10 was like, none of them was. I mean, maybe one or two were there, because when they came back to the 10 nominations, they had like Up, they had The Dark Knight, they had movies that everybody saw and everybody loved it. But anyways, enough with awards, enough with Oscars. These are the movies we saw.
Yeah.
We also saw an Amazon show called The Sticky, short and sweet. It's about the maple syrup heist.
It's very loosely based on this. So a few years ago, hundreds of gallons, like thousands, millions, I don't know. A whole crap ton of maple syrup was stolen from Canada's maple syrup reserve. Yes, they have a maple syrup reserve.
And,
it's a thing that exists, and maple syrup is real expensive, so they stole it, managed to sell it somehow. I want to meet a maple syrup fence. Like, how do you sell this? Anyway, so they use that heist as sort of a jumping off point.
Yes.
For this story, and I cannot stress that enough. Like, everything that happens in the series, like, is not what happened.
You checked?
I checked. Like, for the most, a lot of like the logistics, like the whole idea of like taking the barrels, emptying them, filling them with water, and putting them back. That all happened, but like the other stuff around it doesn't seem. Yeah.
Anyways,
seem to be.
It's funny. Margot Martindale, award-winning actress, is on it. I can't remember his first name. Diamantopoulos is there too, and a bunch of Canadians, because it's set in Canada.
Specifically French Canadians.
French Canadians,
which is like a whole different world.
They do speak French. It's and it has like somewhere there, deep somewhere, there's like a father-son, two father-son stories. Father that sacrificed himself for his son, and a father that literally throws his son under the bus.
Yeah.
It's
in spectacular fashion.
Yeah. It's short and sweet. It's interesting. I would recommend. So, yeah.
And it's Jamie Lee Curtis alone.
Oh, Jamie Lee is there. She's a producer, and she's there. Jason Blum is also a producer. It's fun. It's on Amazon Prime. If you have, you should check.
Yeah. It's well worth it. Although definitely plan on having like pancakes or something, because like this the syrup.
So much syrup, yes.
So much. All right, let's go through some news real quick. Trump he's tapped OpenAI and Oracle for a $500 billion AI infrastructure project.
Okay. Someone investing hard on AI, this time with competent people. Not the previous AI czar. That was Kamala Harris. That's it. AI has 2 letters, and that's probably the only thing she knows about it. But anyways,
they're calling the project Stargate. In the meantime, CNN's net worth has cut in half over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
They're not doing so well.
And they laying off the crap out of there, and they say, "Oh, this is cosmetic changes." It's like, no. They cutting the fat because there's a lot, and they losing all the time.
Yeah. If you're going to hang out in a Starbucks, you need to buy a product, which I thought was just good etiquette. Yeah. But apparently now that's their official policy.
Okay.
It was, and then it wasn't, and now it is again. The 2025 Oscars will not be performing any nominated songs.
Well, if you see the nominated songs, you might get it.
Yeah. Okay, Squid Game 2 is still doing really well. They had their biggest weekly... Squid Game 2 Season 2... earned the biggest weekly streaming audience of 2024 with 4.9 billion viewing minutes.
Jeez.
Yeah, I feel like it was worth it. That was a season 2 that really whipped up. Tim Allen's new show, Shifting Gears, had ABC's best series launch in 6 years.
Yeah, well, Tim Allen is really good always. And Kat Dennings. Kat Dennings joined him on this show about a father and daughter, and I guess grandkids. It's fun. It's worth checking.
Yeah, I feel like he pretty consistently delivers. If you like Tim Allen, you're gonna like this show. The Frasier reboot at Paramount Plus got canceled after 2 seasons.
Yeah, that's sad. I was enjoying that, and I was hoping to see Daphne, to see Niles, and finally Maris. No, I'm kidding. I don't want to see Maris.
Man, the character Frasier is so good, but that's okay. Righteous Gemstones is gonna end with season 4.
That comes out in March, I think.
And White Lotus got renewed for a 4th season.
Before the next season even started.
CBS is working on a neighborhood spin-off series led by the 2 sons.
Yes.
I'm skeptical, but
we'll see. Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see.
Michael C. Hall said that production has begun on Dexter Resurrection.
Dexter is coming back with the fury of serial killers. It got a sequel, right? New Blood, and now it has Dexter Origins. Michael C. Hall is a narrator, which is when he was young. And there's this one that's called Resurrection. I guess is a follow up on New Blood. And also there's they finishing producing a Trinity show with John Lithgow being a
Jeez.
narrator.
I don't know if I could handle a whole show.
It's also
he
a
was
prequel.
Disturbing.
It's also a prequel, but Lithgow is narrating.
Yeah. Okay. David Leitch is in talks to direct another Ocean's movie.
Yeah, Ocean's 14.
Okay. And Warner Brothers is working on a new Goonies and Gremlins movie.
Yeah, for the Oceans, Clooney is back and Brad Pitt is back.
Oh, okay.
I guess it's like Clooney is failing, so I guess he's going back to what it works. Or maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, stepping over to the ever-expanding John Wick universe. It looks like Donnie Yen might actually direct his character spin-off
That's
movie.
really good news. That's absolutely good news, and I'll pay to see. We've been seeing the trailer of Ballerina. It looks spectacular.
Yes.
It looks good. Yeah.
Yes,
and
it's the Black Widow movie we
start,
were denied.
And they start the movie, the Black movie. Yeah, exactly. And they start the movie with essential premises about women. They say you are smaller, you are not as strong, so you have to find a way. And how you find a way? You cheat, and that's beautiful. That's how you write a woman.
As cheaters?
No.
I feel like we could have framed that a little bit better.
I mean, a woman fighting a big man, of course she's not going to take him.
Yeah, they're writing women, and this is something I liked about of Flight Risk, too. Like, writing strong women doesn't mean writing women who are like men. It means writing... Anyway, the trailer looks fantastic, and what's her name? Ana de Armas?
Yeah.
This totally plays to her strengths. I'm excited about it. And excited about the two. Like, Donnie... Oh, my gosh. Donnie Yen. So great.
Yeah, and this one, can't wait.
Sonic 4 has a spring 2027 release date.
Yeah.
And Ryan Gosling might be in Sean Levy's Star Wars movie.
Yeah, we'll see. There's nothing yet, and Star Wars been failing too. Well, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and last but definitely not least, Henry Cavill and Natalie Viscuso had their baby.
Hey.
They're keeping it very private, which is great. I love it
when
when
celebrities... super baby.
Definitely a super baby.
Congrats to the new parents. We don't know the names or the genders.
Yeah.
Or how many.
Yeah, no, they're keeping that private, which I totally
good
support.
For them. Yeah, because Hollywood is a messy world, and some people like they prey on anyways on kids. It's not a mystery, it's not a secret, but it's a good
but
thing.
also like the
that
press and fans.
they protecting the innocent, because it's our job as adults, as parents, and yeah, again, congrats. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of things. This next week we're gonna see a lot more things. Maybe not more, but a lot of things. We're gonna see today or tonight at some point. There's a new Star Trek movie out. It's called Star Trek Section 31 on CBS.
Oh, that's right.
With Michelle Yeoh. I don't know. The premise for me is it's hard to make it work. So I'll go into it with skepticism, because but again, we talk about it more when I see it. So I'm not gonna get into it now. So for now, that's all. May you have a good week. May the force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.
Bye.